All right, you can see I have the ABS light on the car. And every once in a while, a little message will pop up below that says check brake system. So we've got our Bluetooth scanner dongle plugged in down here by where my foot is. I don't think you can see it, but what we have is a code that shows up on the Forescan app saying that the left front ABS sensor is not generating a signal. A lot of times the problem when it's not getting a signal can be what we call the reluctor wheel or the tone ring, and that's the same thing. But if those break, which they frequently do, they crack and split and don't spin at the proper speed, that will cause this same error to show. But I have replaced that because I actually just replaced my front axle shafts because the rubber boots had ripped. I went online to, you can see Amazon, and I found the ABS sensor, and here it is. $5.50 with 2-day shipping. That's, how can you go wrong with that? Even comes with the bracket. Everything's here. It's amazing how cheap this was. It's amazing how inexpensive this was. And if I had my fingers free, I could open it. Open this for me, Doug. I'm not going to film Doug, but we're going to film our wonderful cat companion here who likes to be in our videos. Tinsel! Hello, Tinsel. Over here. Let everybody see you. Must be tired right now. He doesn't seem very energetic. But all right, here's the new ABS sensor, and this is the part that pushes into the front steering knuckle and bolts to it to hold it in place. And then this bracket mounts to the strut assembly to keep everything from flexing the wrong way and hold everything nice and straight. And it also includes a secondary bracket, which is further up, which I didn't even notice up in there. Push pin to hold it in place in the inner fender well, and a rubber grommet to seal it up when you push it through the fender well into the engine compartment, and the standard forward round pin connector. Should be pretty simple to put on. Looks like I'm going to have 1, 2, 3 bolts, a push connector, a grommet, and a clip. Should be pretty simple. Let's go give it a try. Alright, I saved my old axle shafts. Let me show you the problem I had, and you can see what I was talking about. Alright, there's the torn rubber boot that I was mentioning, and there's your tone ring or reluctor wheel, as it's called, and that spins around, generating an electronic effect with the magnet in the end of the ABS sensor, and that measures, or allows the computer to measure, how fast the wheel is spinning. And there's one on each wheel, on the front wheels, and some cars have them on all 4 wheels, some just on the front. But when you hit the brakes, if one of the wheels starts slipping, the computer detects a difference in wheel speed on that reluctor wheel or tone ring between the 2 wheels, and then it releases the brake pressure on the wheel that's slipping so that you're not actually sliding, and the brakes can actually be more effective. So well, we're going to pop the hood, and we're going to jack the car up. We'll probably have to take that wheel off, but there's a chance if we turn it all the way out to the left, I would think, or maybe, well, one way or another, we'll turn it all the way in one direction or the other and see if we can reach up in there and get to it without taking the wheel off. That'd make it even quicker, wouldn't it? Jack up and support the car safely. Then remove the front wheel. Remove the 8mm bolt that holds the wheel speed sensor into the steering knuckle. And be careful with it, because sometimes these get rusty in here. You should add some PB Blaster to it, or possibly some heat with a small torch, just to make sure it's loose and doesn't snap off. If it does snap off, it's pretty easy to get to drill out and extract, but still, why cause yourself the extra trouble? Once the bolt's out, it's usually just a matter of lifting and wiggling to get it out. Sometimes you can put a screwdriver or something between the knuckle and the plastic body of it to pry up a little bit. If you break it, it's not a big deal since you're replacing it anyway, but it's coming. I'm just wiggling it back and forth and it's coming. There we go, it's out. Actually, I don't think there's anything wrong with this itself, but several years ago the wire, this bracket came loose on the strut and the wire right here wore loose and I taped it up and it's probably come apart again or possibly broken. And I just decided it was time to go ahead and change it. Now the next bolt's going to be right here mounted to the strut that holds a stabilizing bracket on. I think that one there, that's the threads on the strut stripped out, and I had to put a bolt and a nut on the back of it through the hole to get it to stay in place. So I'm going to take 2 wrenches. Usually it would just be one to unthread it and put it up, and we have to have a second wrench on the back side to hold it steady while I'm taking the front bolt out. Alright, once that bracket's off, that 8mm screw, that leads us up to the push connector right there, which we're going to pull out, and then the rubber grommet there will pull out. Once that's out, we pull the grommet back toward us. I was thinking we'd have to snake around behind the filter box or the fuse block to get to that, but no, look at that. They're pressing the little tang on it and separating it. And here we go, the whole thing's out. This is the round connector that pushes into the wiring harness. That's disconnected by depressing this little tab right here and gently pulling outward. This grommet snaps into the hole in the fender liner. This is a support connector, it just pushes into the fender liner. This metal bracket mounts to the frame, and this little secure part here is held in place by that little bracket there. Let's see, further down we've got the strut mount, which mounts in an upright position like that. And at the very end we have the speed sensor itself with the 8mm bolt bolting it to the steering knuckle. Well, that was the first time I've ever actually changed this wheel speed sensor. I gotta say, it was pretty easy. Less than half an hour start to finish if I wouldn't have stopped to film it for you guys. And I hope you guys appreciate it, because now you can see how easy it is to do. You can do it yourself, save a bunch of money. It cost me $5. I mean, honestly, if you pay $20 for a good wheel sensor, maybe even more if you want to get a genuine Motorcraft brand one, but throw it on yourself, I'm sure this would be at least a $100 bill at the repair shop. And you saved yourself a huge amount of money in a half hour worth of your time. The only wrench required was a 19mm socket to remove the lug nuts off the wheel, a jack, which is probably in the back of your car already, and an 8mm ratchet wrench. Those are the only tools required to do this job in a half hour. And now we've started the car. I'll get over there so you can see. We're running. Are we running? I think we were. Yeah, we're running. And it's a hybrid, so it's actually shut off right now, but you can see the little green light over on the side said you're ready to go into motion. But just in case you're not sure, we'll go ahead and restart it. And you can see there are no check engine or trouble lights current at this time. And that was the hybrid shutting off again. The only thing you can see is it's 1% due until oil change, so it seems like I just changed the oil like a month ago. That's amazing, but that's okay. We're going to move forward and change the oil again tomorrow. But thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate you being with me and watching my videos and giving me advice and comments and critiques on what I do and how I could have did it better, more properly, more safely sometimes. And I don't get mad when people tell me that there's a better way to do it. I appreciate your comments, and like I say, I'm not a professional mechanic, even though I used to be a certified mechanic. I never worked in the trade on cars. I did small engine mechanics for 4.5 years at the largest lawn and garden shop in the country. And if you like my videos, I hope you click that like button and the subscribe button. But either way, we're having fun, and that's what it's all about here on YouTube, is having fun and learning to do things together. So have a great day, and we'll see you soon.